Hello viewers, so today we have another history lesson by collecting die-cast cars. So this is the Ford GT40, and there's a bit of a story that I never knew about this car. I mean, I always knew it was a successful race car, but how it came about I didn't really pay attention to. Sure, I've watched Ford versus Ferrari, but I don't recall this part of that in the movie. Basically, Henry Ford heard that Enzo Ferrari wanted to sell out to Ford, and so Henry Ford spent several $1 million auditing Ferrari to see if they're a viable purchase. But he also told Enzo that he couldn't race at the Indy 500 against Ford's. But Enzo's passion was racing, so he cut the deal off out of spite. And now Henry Ford was angry, and he wanted to beat Ferrari at his own game, and they were winning the game of the 24 hours of Le Mans. So Henry Ford, he said, hey, beat Ferrari at any cost. And so between 1964 and 1969, 105 GT40s were manufactured in several designations: Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. Those first three variants were built in the UK based upon the Lola Mark 6, and then the Mark 4 was brought to America and designed there. And I have actually a different video on that with different wheels. But anyways, the GT40 broke Ferrari's winning streak in 1966, and they actually did it with a 1-2-3 podium finish. And then they also went on to win the next 3 Le Mans races. So for 4 years, Ford was winning the 24-hour of Le Mans. And that, you do, I think, probably know about a little bit. Anyway, so the Mark II's victory was the first American manufacturer to win a European race since 1921. So that was a big, like, 40+ year gap. And then the Mark I for GT40 went on to win the 24-hour of Le Mans in 1968 and 69, which is weird because it's like the oldest version. So I thought that was interesting to learn as well. The engines could have varied between 4 liters up to 7 liters. So one thing also, the name called GT40 is because at the time 40 inches was or a little over 1 meter was the height of the windshield that was allowed. So Ford met that, and so that's why it's such a low slung vehicle. Now I don't know if this livery made by Hot Wheels exists. This is a Gulf livery, but I don't know if there's a Gulf livery number 8. When I look up GT40 number 8, this yellow photo shows up, and I think this was driven by Jaggy Ix and Brian Redman. So I don't know, maybe this does exist, but my internet searches couldn't tell me or find it. So let me know if you guys know better. So what scale is this? That's what I'm wondering now. So let's see, the length of this thing is supposed to be 4,064 millimeters. So I'm just typing that into the calculator. Let's pull out the calipers. So I got 72.27. Yeah, it's big. Just like the Mark IV. This is a 156 scale. So it's oversized like the Mark IV Hot Wheels. So that's too bad. I don't actually have a true 164 scale GT40 because I just don't like the other brand's offerings except for Kyosho. But the Kyoshos are so expensive, I'm not buying it. So, and I just don't like what the other manufacturers are doing as far as models of this car. So, but this one, I don't really care so much because it wasn't really expensive, so I'm okay if it's not 100% accurate. So let's take a look though and see what what Hot Wheels was able to pull off. So as usual though, the printing's nice because they're not decals, they're tampo prints. And you do have this sticking out vent here, but there is supposed to be a vent maybe up there, I don't see it. There's also supposed to be protruding vents here, but I'm not sure what Mark version they're going for here, Hot Wheels, if they're going for a Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. So I don't know. Anyways, in the back there's some molded details, but just plain paint, and a casting problem right there. Okay, this side, yeah, nothing different really from the other side. It's interesting that they bothered to put these blobby mirrors on, because the photo of the real car has no mirrors at all. So they could have gotten away with no mirrors. But anyways, on the top here, yeah, the printing's alright, I guess, and really thick, wide panel gaps. But that's just the Hot Wheels way, I guess. Some really shallow recesses. Maybe I could add some paint too. And then that's not a bad graphic for the headlights. You know, it looks kind of three-dimensional. Unfortunately, it's just overrunning. This one didn't hit the mark very well. Okay, so the grill, now that actually, there is texture back in there, and it's really deep, so that's pretty cool. Naturally, they couldn't put on the plastic covers for the lights here. They just went and molded the light buckets, but I think that's okay. Although, it's interesting, they probably could have just had that flat and then painted on headlights like that, right there. So it's interesting, the choices they made there. So smoked glass, some detailed interior view stuff, but not super high detail, of course. But it's okay, I guess. It's nice to see that glass has a little sliding window there. So when was this mold made? 2019. Okay. All right. Interesting. So it's all right. I'm not sure what kind of wheels I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll improve upon the earlier Mark IV Hot Wheels I did. I feel I might be able to make the spokes a little bit tighter. So we'll see what happens. Give me a second. Okay, and so here we are. And it turns out actually that the Gulf livery cars had these orange wheels. So instead of modifying the Mark IV wheels I did, I figured I'd do these. And they turned out okay. I made the brake system the same piece as the entire wheels, so they're actually painted orange back there. Although in the darkness, maybe it's kind of hard to tell. Ideally they would be like silver, but I didn't feel like trying to get the paintbrush through between those spokes, so I just left it alone. Anywho, I added a lot of extra paint detail. I filled in with the body lines here with some Tamiya body line filler, but then I realized it's going to start to look a little bit too weird, so I actually stopped because I didn't put it in up there. Maybe I'll remove it, I'm not sure. But I added a little black Sharpie here to the side vents, a little silver and black back here, and then silver on the exhaust tips, a little black in those vents, and then some red for the tail lights. A little more black here in these vents here in the hood, and there and there and there and there, and then black in there, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. I had to put some shims into these wheels. At first I just wanted them really within, because on the real GT40 the tires are actually sunken in underneath the fenders. But so I thought I would try to sink them in, but then I realized the casting itself is too thick and it just looked weird trying to sink in. I would also have to modify the base to let the axle ride up there, so I just changed my mind and it's gonna look like this. So here's a super performance replica, and you know, I use this as reference to make the wheels. So I think it turned out alright. I guess I should probably maybe add some black to the center, but I don't think I can paint a perfect circle, so maybe I'll just leave it silver the way it is right now. Okay, well, all in all, I mean, there's a lot of details going on in this casting, so they're not the best most well done details, but again, it's a mainline Hot Wheels, so I think you're getting a lot of detail for the money. Is it hobby grade? No. But can it roll down a racetrack? Yeah. Well, maybe not mine, because the wheels themselves cause too much friction. But a regular mainline, yeah, it's a great toy, for sure. I think it's definitely worth picking up. It's a historic vehicle, an American racing legend, so if you can get an American racing legend for $1 or $2, why wouldn't you? Alright guys, well, I appreciate you watching again, and we'll see you in the next mod. Bye.